What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. AROD Locks here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We're going to show you what we do here. I'm going to go over the Boise State Penn State football game. This game is huge. Playoff game, right? This is a quarterfinal playoff game. A lot of people are just going to count out Boise State. They're going to throw everything on Penn State. We're going to go over the main betting lines here. We're going to go spread, money line, over, under, talk about the line movement, talk about where the money's at, talk about where the public bets are coming in. And then at the end, as always, I'm going to give you guys some player props. We'll see what you guys like with the actual player props that I give you. I like them. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But welcome back, guys. It's been a few days. Sorry, I was busy just as you guys were. Christmas time really hits with a lot of stuff going on. So I didn't really make any good videos about the NFL this past weekend, but we're getting back into it with the college football playoff games coming up on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Huge games. The New Year's Bowls are still here, even though we have this 12-team playoff. It's going to be a fun weekend. Let's get right into it. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and we're going to have a great New Year's here with these football games. Looking at this game, guys, Penn State 9-2, Boise State 11-1. Obviously, Penn State is over there in the Big Ten. Boise State's in the Mountain West. People counting them out because of their schedule. Actually, they played a few top 25 teams. Their schedule wasn't horrible, and they played the number one team in the country in Oregon, and they were right there with them. Hung in there right to the end, almost beat Oregon. So Boise State can play. Don't rule them out just because they're a Mountain West team. But just my take on that, Penn State is a really good football team. They can't seem to get over that Ohio State hump. They can't seem to get over that Oregon hump. They just can't seem over the last 20 years or so to crack and jump over and be that team that goes and wins the national championship. Maybe this is the year. Maybe this is their year. Who knows? Let's see. Looking at the line, guys, minus 10.5 for Penn State is where it opened at. Now it's at minus 11. Spread got a little bit bigger in favor of Penn State. Opened up at 10.5 for Boise State. Now it's at plus 11. Odds on this changed a little bit. Minus 108 at 10.5 for Penn State. Now it's sitting at minus 10. So odds also got better in Boise State's favor. Same thing on the other side, minus 112 at 10.5, now minus 110 at plus 11 for Boise State. Looking at where the public betting is coming in, 62% of bets are on Boise State to cover this line. 49% on the Broncos is where the money's coming in. 51% of money on Penn State to cover this line. So the spread is really 50-50 right now. It did move in favor of Penn State a little bit, but also a little bit of money coming in on Penn State. This right here is almost 50-50 money percentage. With this money split right here, I wouldn't expect this line to move at all. So it is moving in favor of Penn State just slightly. Money line. Let's talk money line. Opened up at minus 360 for Penn State. Now it's at minus 452. Heavy movement in favor of Penn State. Opened up at plus 285 for Boise. Now it's at plus 347. Obviously, same thing goes here. Heavy movement in favor of Penn State. Odds are getting longer for Boise State to win this football game. Money here is very interesting. 96% of public bets are on Penn State to win this game. 79% of that money is coming in favor of the Broncos. So what does that tell us, guys? Well, just looking at the money, it tells us that 96% of people are betting on Penn State, but big bettors are betting on Boise State. There's got to be a lot of money, big money bettors that are putting money on the Broncos. Now, just a thought here. If I'm going to put big money on a play, huge money to swing this percentage like this when 96% of the bets are coming in on favor of Penn State, out of those 4% of bettors putting money on Boise State, they have to be putting huge chunks of money to get 79% of the money in favor of Boise State. That means they're confident bettors. Those could be sharps. Those could be dumbass public bettors that are just wasting money. We don't know, but it's very interesting to look at. The line movement, though, suggests that sharps are actually betting on Penn State because sharps move the line. Public bettors does not matter. But when a sharp bettor comes into a book and they put down big money wagers, the books take notice of that, and they move the line accordingly. The interesting part is just how much money is coming in on Boise State. Why are these big-time bettors putting this much money on an underdog at plus 347? What do they know? Well, I'm not going to say I'm going to go bet Boise State money line. I'm not just going to throw that in there because of all this money, but I might look at this and then hop over back here to the spread and say, Boise plus 11 might not be a bad pick if this many people are confident enough to throw huge money on Boise State money line. Just something to think about, something to look at as we move closer to New Year's Eve and this football game actually taking place. Then the over-under here, you got 54.5 is what it opened up at. Now it came down to 53, minus 110 odds both ways. Public betting percentage, 66% of the bets are coming in on the over, 57% of money on the over. Typical there with the public, it's on the over, but line is moving downward, inverse line movement. That's going to be my free pick for you guys. Bump this back up to 54.5. Take the under. I don't know what the odds are going to be after you bump it, but even the under at 53, I would take that if you don't want to bump it back up. But to be safe, to get you guys a win, bump it back up on whatever book you use. Take it alt total points here at 54.5. Hit that under. Line is moving down, and the money and the public betting percentage is on the over. Tells you the sharps are betting the under. That one is very obvious to read that line. So hit that under 53, or even better, 54.5, just to give you guys a safer win. But if you want a bigger payout, I do think 53 under should be a good play. Now, let's move into the player props. Before I do, I'm going to tell you real quick how you can get $25 absolutely free using the Dabble app. If you're in a DFS state, meaning the states that allow daily fantasy sports player pick'em apps don't allow sports books, most of them. There is one. Take a look at REBET. If you're in one of those states, REBET's legal in 45 states, so you might be able to use a traditional sports book. Promo code AROD on REBET. I'll leave a link down here in the description. $100 deposit match for REBET. But back to Dabble. Those daily fantasy sports player prop apps, if you're in one of those states that you can only use those, look at Dabble. They'll give you $25 free. Just hand it to you. No deposit required, no gimmicks, no nothing. You sign up for the app using promo code SSWIN, and they just give you $25 absolutely free. They load your account up. If you play these two player props, I'm going to give you 3x is your money. Now you have $75. Once you play at $25, you can withdraw anything you won from that. So let's move over into those player props. I'll tell you what I like. All right, first one I got pulled up here is Nicholas Singleton. Nick Singleton is a stud. Do not get me wrong. Dude absolutely dominated against Oregon, 148 rush plus receiving yards. We are going on his rush plus receiving yards line. We're going to take the under at 111.5 rush plus receiving yards. Look at his graph here, guys. This here shows his last 10 games. He's gone over this number twice. Under it the rest of the games. Like I said, Nick Singleton is an absolute dude. His problem here, the reason I like the under, is he does split time in this backfield with Kaytron Allen. So it's not, if he was the workhorse back, I would absolutely say he's going over this. But with Kaytron Allen cutting in to his reps in the receiving game and in the rushing game, he doesn't have all the touches that I would like to see him get to get over this. Now, he may bust a big one and may go over this line. Singleton can bust one at any time. I'm not taking anything away from him, but rushing yards allowed, Boise State is ranked 22 right now, only giving up 115 rushing yards per game. So you take 115 rushing yards per game. Say Singleton gets 60% of those snaps, 60% of 115. I'm no math major, but that's a little over 60 yards rushing, right? If Kaytron Allen digs into those rushing attempts. Now, receiving total, it's hard to dictate this with running backs. Now, if we're talking receivers, this receiving yards total here is a little more clear, but they're ranked 109 in the country and giving up receiving yards, 246.8 receiving yards per game against Boise State's defense. But like I said, with Kaytron Allen cutting into this, I like the under. 8 of the last 10, he's been under it. Now he's going against a pretty damn good running defense here in Boise State. I'm taking the under at 111.5 rushing plus receiving yards for Nicholas Singleton. Then we'll move over into the next pick. Ashton Jeanty, the biggest Heisman snub in college football history. We're going to take him over 129.5 rushing yards. Yes, don't call me crazy. The matchup kind of suggests he could go under it. Ranked 7. Penn State is ranked 7 against the rush, giving up 100 yards per game. That's not against Ashton Jeanty. We saw it all year long. Teams stacked the box, 8 men in the box. I saw some 9-man boxes to try to stop Ashton Jeanty. That's all teams do against Boise State. How do you stop number 2? Well, it hasn't worked yet for anybody. Even his bad games. Let's look at his bad games. This is the last 10. Let's look at 2024. His down games, 127 rushing yards, 128 rushing yards. His line's at 129.5. He's gone under this twice all season, and the most he was under was 3 yards. 127. He needs 130 to get above this. Twice all year. Now, question his schedule in the Mountain West all you want. If you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not going to do that. He did play some good defenses. Oregon, ranked 34 in the country. The whole country. Top 10 is way better. Yes, Penn State being a top 10 rushing defense, that is impressive as hell. 34 in the country is not like saying they're 32nd in the NFL. Think about how many teams are in FBS football. Ranked 34th, and he went for 192. Another one here, where was it? Ranked 21st in UNLV, he went for 128. That's still not above this line, but he's 128 rushing yards against the 21st ranked rush defense in the country. Now let's go over here against UNLV again. Second time still, UNLV ranked 21st in the country, 209 yards. It does not matter. Ashton Jeanty is going to get his. He's going to show us why he should have won the Heisman. I think Ashton Jeanty blows this number away. They have to ride him if they want a chance at this football game. They're going to do it on his back. Look at it. Look at his carries per game. 26.5 carries per game. Average 8. Again, I'm no math major, but if he's getting 26 carries per game, averaging 8.1 yards a game, that's over 130 yards. Take Ashton Jeanty over 129.5 rushing yards. If you got a gripe about it, let me know why in the comments. I don't see Penn State slowing down Ashton Jeanty enough to hold him under this line. Now, will Penn State win the game? That's to be determined. Like I said, I'm not going to just straight up go Boise money line and jump on that because of that public money, but I do think Boise's got a better chance than a lot of people are giving them. Penn State could still win this football game based on all of the other factors. Maddox Madsen could turn the ball over. If they get turnovers, if Penn State gets a turnover or two, game's over. I don't see Boise State's defense stopping Penn State's offense completely. I do like the under, but I don't think that Boise State's defense is as good as Penn State's defense here to completely just stop that offense. Drew Aller is still going to get his against this secondary. I don't think Penn State's going to be able to run the ball and dominate the game against Boise State. They're going to run a little bit, but I don't think they're going to dominate the run game. I think they're going to have to trust Drew Aller to throw the ball and beat beat Boise State through the air. But Boise State's recipe to win is to ride Ashton Jeanty's back. That's all I got for you guys. I'm going to show you the picks one more time. Ashton Jeanty right here, over 129.5 rushing yards. Nicholas Singleton, under 111.5 rush plus receiving yards. Again, this is on Dabble. 3x payout, $25 turns into $75. If you use that free $25 they're just going to give you when you sign up, use promo code SSWIN. I'll leave a link in the description down here below. Click that link, sign up, code SSWIN, free $25. Then whatever you win, you can withdraw or deposit more and keep playing. It's extremely fun to play on these daily fantasy sports player prop apps. Harder to hit than traditional sports books, because football player props are so finicky. They're extremely hard to hit. Basketball player props, a lot easier, but you can play basketball on Dabble as well if you're an NBA bettor. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I have for you. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. If you like what I'm giving you, if you found this information useful, valuable, any of that stuff, hit that subscribe button down there, guys. I'm trying to grow this big sports betting army. I say this every video. It's us versus them. It's us against the books. Let's grow this big, beat the books together. Thank you again for watching. I'll see y'all next time.